Hi, Scottish Mudlarking here with Nicole and Craig. You join us on our second visit to Ceres Burn. We're making our way down the river week by week until we get to the waterfall where we made our second ever video for this channel. We've looked up that section of the river, we're down here now and we're going to see what we can find on this little embankment. A bit tricky. And here we are, over on the other side. So the last time you saw us here in Ceres Burn, we were just over there. It is only a little bit of water, but we are making our way down the burn, and this is quite a different area. Very few people ever come down here, so we hope to find some really cool finds. And I think Nicole has just found something quite cool off to my side, so let's go have a look and see what she found.
Oh yeah, it's a really cool object.
Okay,
Not sure
cool.
what it is. Now that is interesting. It kind of looks like an egg cup, but I don't think it is an egg cup.
Do you know what I think it is?
Yeah, what?
I think it's part of a doorknob.
Oh, maybe. I'll get it out of there. Oh well, yeah, it's got a screw thing there.
Yeah, I think maybe a glass door. Oh, actually, that screw's different. I didn't expect to see that that threaded area on the bottom of it. That's a little bit different. Let's have a close look at that.
Could be from a curtain rail. Or
It could actually, yeah.
maybe some sort of decorative
Like
object.
a decorative bollard end of a curtain rail, maybe.
Yeah, I think it might be brass.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll take that.
Yeah.
Steampunk.
Cool. It says coffee on it.
Oh, cool. So
Yeah.
that's like an old coffee container then?
Yeah, no,
Or
I
a
think.
jar?
Yeah, I think it was for the kind of chicory coffee that you got.
Okay.
Keep thinking coffee.
You're obsessed with coffee. Okay, let's have a close look at that. That's
Yeah.
cool. Well, I know what I'm going to have when we get home.
A cup of coffee.
Well, yeah, I'm tempted to say tea now.
Yeah. No, you have to have coffee now. Check this out. I think it's the bottom of a very small bottle.
Okay, I think I can see it. It's quite tricky to see in here. Okay, maybe if you... yeah, I think I can see it much clearer now. There we go. Oh, that's cool. It's got a little bit of edge left on it.
Yep, it does.
Not much.
Oh, that's so cute.
It is, yeah. It's a little beveled bottom.
We're taking that.
That's very cool. Lovely. Ah, that's interesting. I think between that and what Nicole found a little earlier on, I'd expect to see a door in here somewhere. So I think I found another part of a door handle, and you have a handful of some things there.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to hand this to you and then we can look at
Okay.
them all together.
Well, have a look at your... Oh, that's nice.
Well, yeah, I think it's a counterpart to the part that you found just along along the river here.
Possibly, yeah. It's very nice, I like it.
Oh yeah. I mean, we're collecting all these little metallic parts, and I think they kind of look good. We can maybe try and use them in a project at some point.
Great idea, yeah.
And if not, up until then, they're going to be part of our steampunk pile.
Yeah, I like it. I'll show you what I found.
That is a really nice piece of transferware. Beautiful pattern.
Yeah, and oddly, a matching piece of that bit of a hand-painted piece, same colour. Some bottle bottom.
Limited.
Yeah, just limited. And I found a really beautiful piece of pirate glass, but you see it's thick, but it's very thick. It's got iridescence.
It's almost blue, petrol-y looking colours in there. I'm not sure how much of that we can see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you if let's move over to the water there. I think the light's shining a little stronger and we'll be able to see some of those blue colours. Hopefully that gives you a better sense of those blue colours, that kind of petrol iridescence.
Yeah, it's really pretty, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's really thick as well.
Yeah, I thought it was a blue piece at first.
Oh, wouldn't that have been something?
Yeah.
Oh.
Perfect for you.
Okay, cool. So Nicole's just found something here. Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Ah, I can see it already.
Can you see it?
Is that clay?
No, it's just rusty. I'm pretty sure it's just the neck. I don't think it's an entire bottle.
Yeah, the little stones inside it are a wee bit giveaway. Oh, such a shame. Just the neck.
It's a really nice
very
one
thick,
though. Yeah,
very thick and heavy.
Yeah. I think that's old.
Certainly looks it to me.
Yeah. I'm taking it.
Cool. So, an interesting mix of finds then. Lots of old stuff in here, some new stuff, but a lot of old stuff.
Yeah. I think it's mainly maybe 1880s, roughly that time. So I don't know if this era was used as a dump or it's recently been converted into a dump.
Very cool though. Great finds.
Yeah. Great finds.
Really lovely, delicate decoration on this. It's a little saucer. See my hand for scale. It's like the maker's mark says England, but we can't read a maker, just a place of manufacture. That's a shame. It's a pretty wee pattern. Nice wee piece. Oh! Nicole's just found one of the more macabre things that we tend to find. I heard the word tooth. Yeah. So any squeamish folks, look away. Okay, so it's clearly not a human tooth.
No.
That looks like a horse's tooth, maybe a cow's tooth.
Or sheep, yeah.
Or a sheep, you reckon a sheep?
Could be any of those. I mean, there's lots of sheep around here.
There are indeed, yeah.
So it's big.
It is big, yeah. Okay, well, yeah, it is what it is. You can probably tell I'm not a massive fan of teeth, but Nicole likes them.
Yeah, quirky.
How do you think that this stretch of shore compares to the one that we were at the other week?
Well, over there we found those really amazing stoppers, the glass stopper and the vulcanite stopper.
Yeah, those were both awesome. I mean, to be honest, they were really, really good. Never found anything quite so clear, quite so kind of, you know, intact.
Yeah, that's true.
For the stoppers, so that was awesome find.
But we'll keep looking. I have found a couple of other pieces that are really quirky, so I'm going to show you those. So we've got what I think is probably fig syrup. So you can just make out IG syrup.
So do we know what fig syrup was for? Or maybe we encountered that in another history.
I'm guessing it's indigestion.
Indigestion, yeah, constipation.
Yeah. This one says relish.
Oh, okay, that's very cool. It's nice to get these pieces with letters on them.
Yeah, and this one, I think that's probably the bottom of a Bovril jar that we can still buy.
Ah, yeah, you can see the flattened side there, so I'm going to try and point that out. Just this side here, that would be the side of the jar. Bovril jars are quite distinctive in the fact that they have flat sides. Well, they're rounded on two of the sides and flat on the other two.
Yeah, and they're kind of still sold in that same shape.
They are indeed.
So I think it's really interesting that we're finding these. So whenever we find sea glass, usually you can't make out what it was before. So if it's sea foam, then it might have been from like relish bottles.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
That's very cool. Because of the economic activity that took place in this part of Scotland, we speak an awful lot about coal. But prior to steam, burns like Ceres burn here that we're at today were the prime movers in Scotland.
Kemback gains its name from the burn that runs through the area. There is a wee bit of dispute about what the name might actually mean, depending on whether you translate it from Scots or Gaelic. But the earliest mention of the burn in 1428 refers to it as Kemback Burn. The area that we're in today is called Dura Den. In Scots usage, a den, or sometimes a dene, is a steep-sided gorge, usually with a water source running through it. Dura Den fits this description perfectly. Its steep sides are covered in woodland that resonates with the sound of never-ending birdsong that accompanies the bubbling burn passing through from west to east. These days, this place is recognised as an important area for wildlife. It's hard to imagine that this was once a hive of industrial activity. This waterway was the raw energy source that made Dura Den an ideal site of industry. It's odd to think about the raw energy of industry when sitting by a bubbling burn. But both before and while coal-fueled steam power, gentle waterways like this provided important sources of power. This power had to be controlled for use, and the most basic way to control a river or a burn is to divert it from its course. Mills did this by creating a lathe, which could be opened so that water could run through to turn the mill wheel, and closed so that the mill wheel and the machinery that it powered could be fully stopped. A water wheel can power anything that uses gears to drive machinery. If water power has a disadvantage over steam, it's that the river powering the wheel and its machines cannot be moved. But that still makes water power an excellent source for powering mills. The first mills began operation here around 1800, and more popped up along the course of the Ceres burn throughout the 19th century. In its heyday, in the mid-1800s, this river fueled production of flax, barley, it spun threads, and it powered sawmills, among other things. Milling continued here until it finally came to an end around 1937. Today, there is very little that we can find that is written about the mills that once stood along this burn, nor is there very much left of the architecture of these old buildings. Yule Field's chimney can be seen through the trees. This was once the location of a massive mill wheel and a host of buildings housing machinery. We can see some of the old stone building material in the burn today, though much was moved and used in construction elsewhere. The few mill buildings that remain have long since been converted into dwellings on the burn side of this enchanting place. Looking at the place today, it's very hard to imagine that industry once thrived here. Other areas of industry, not so far away, that use different sources of power, look very different to Kemback. When we look at places where coal was abstracted and used as a primary source of energy, we find a very different landscape left behind. These days, we can't help but look back to the power that once fueled the mills of Kemback when looking forward to what will inevitably provide energy into the future. As we look out from our coast, we often see these massive turbines spinning on the wind farms out at sea. Sometimes as we drive through the countryside here, we catch a glimpse and a reflection of a field filled with solar panels that harvest energy from the sun. And we know that energy gathering devices are also located under the waters of the sea around our coast. It's funny how things come and go. Like the water and the windmills of the past, our future looks set to be fueled by the power that flows in our rivers, blows in the wind, and shines from the sun above us.
There's something really cool just over here I want to show you. Come on. Okay, you gotta be careful. It's right here.
That is really cool.
It is, but I think we have to leave it here.
I think we might just have to leave it here. I don't know if you can see what that is. I'll zoom in a little closer so you get a really kind of good detailed look at that. But that is an old milk churn.
Yeah.
Or milk container, canister. I don't know if it's correct to call it a churn. But it is a large metallic object that was once used to contain a lot of milk. I don't know how many gallons you'd get in that.
I imagine quite a few.
Oh, that's so cool though.
Yep.
Do you know, now that I see it, it is so much rustier than I thought it would be when you told me about it. Yeah, I'm not sure we'd get that out of the ground in one piece.
No.
Such a shame though.
Yeah.
That'd get the neighbours talking.
Yeah, I think it stays here.
Yeah, I think we'd need a shovel to get that out.
Yeah.
Oh well.
You'll find though.
It is, isn't it?
Yep.
Well, it suggests to me that there's some really interesting stuff around this area.
I think you're right. There's definitely quite a few really cool things around here, and I think we should come back. But I think for today, we're going home.
Yeah, we'll head back to the car just now. We've got about a 20-minute walk back to the car from here. And yeah, next time you see us, we're going to be at another part of this river.
Possibly,
but
yeah.
At some point we're going to come back along here. Definitely, that's for sure.
Might not dig that out.
Yeah, maybe not. We'll see. Maybe it's gone when we get here.
Doubt it.
Okay, let's get to the car.
Yeah.
Well, no writing on that piece, just a really nice little corner section of an old bottle.
Yeah, and it's quite smooth as well.
Oh, that's cool. Well, let's take it home.
Yep. Check this, there's a doll in here.
So as you can probably see, there's a lot of plastic rubbish in here as well. And sadly that doll doesn't look to me like it's porcelain. But let's get it out and we'll have a wee look. That's cool anyway.
Yeah.
A wee dolly.
Oops. Oh, I think we have to...
Is it stuck?
Yeah,
oh,
it is.
poor thing.
Well, I might be able to get it out, but... Oh! There's a bottle here, or a long bottleneck.
Oh, cool. Do you reckon that this is maybe 60s, maybe 80s? I don't know, it could be 70s. That bottle looks to me like it's a Bonaccord bottle. That was a company that used to go around the houses when I was a kid.
Okay.
And they'd deliver bottles of juice to your door.
Oh.
There was always a return on the bottles, so we always collected the bottles. When we heard the horn of the Bonaccord van arrive, we used to run out, take all the bottles back and get our new bottle of juice.
Ah, well, maybe that's what this is.
I think it might be. That's a relatively new bottle.
Well, I'm going to try and get that doll out.
Okay, let's give it a bash. We'll see if we can save the dolly.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. That's a bigger bottleneck.
Now that's funny because that's a much older piece of glass there.
Yeah.
This piece of bottle here is far older than the bottle that's alongside it, but it also has an external thread for the cork, which is interesting. I didn't expect to see that on something that thick, but you can see there that there's an external thread on the neck of that bottle.
Oh man.
And this bottle is much newer.
Okay.
Oh, now we can see the wee bottom of that dolly.
Well, near the shoulders here. Seems to want to stay here.
Yeah, I think that wee dolly's been here for a while and just doesn't want to come home. Doesn't want to go anywhere. Oh, wouldn't it be terrible if you pulled the head off?
Oh!
Okay, maybe just as well that I said that, I don't know.
There's some plastic here.
Yeah, there's
Salt
lots
and
of
vinegar
plastic.
flavoured.
That might help you date it. That's a
Yes.
sweetie pack.
Yeah, it's a salt and vinegar flavoured crisps, but not a pack I've ever seen.
Right.
Okay, there's some other.
Maybe give that a wee tug, see if you can get that out now.
Yeah.
Oh, here she comes. And the head's intact. And what a big, oh no, it's got hair on it. That's going to be pretty gross.
Oh.
What, missing an arm though, poor thing.
Yeah, it's
Okay, that's, I can tell you now, that's the face that's going to be a thing of nightmares. Let's just have a wee look in there. Oh, the poor bean.
yeah, not exactly
Oh,
what
she's
I
had
had.
a hard time.
Yeah, not exactly what I had envisaged.
No, you're kind of hoping for a frozen Charlotte, but instead you've got a kind of quite bizarrely and quite grotesquely posed.
Much like frozen Charlotte.
Yeah, she's like a mud baby.
Yeah, okay, okay. Right then.
Yeah. Well, let's get back to the car. You know, this is the thing though, we said let's get back to the car and you find a doll.
Yeah.
Not the doll you wanted to find, but it's a doll.
Yeah, okay, that's true.
Maybe we can give her hair a wee wash in the river, what do you think?
Maybe, yeah.
No, maybe not. Okay, let's get going.
Yeah. I'd left this little pile here for us to look at on the way back, and now that I'm looking at it, I remember that for this piece, MV3, I found a piece like this, but on the beach.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah, I think it's a sauce bottle.
Okay, that's cool. With the light shining through it, we can just about see that MV3.
Yeah.
So, you found a piece like this at the beach?
Yeah, a few months ago. I think I think I still have it.
Okay.
So we'll have a look at it.
Yeah, we can
compare
maybe
it.
check out what that marking is, what that could have been, but you reckon it's a sauce bottle?
Possibly because it's square.
It kind of looks like that to me, yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's a cool find.
That's very cool.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you got a really interesting bottleneck down there as well.
Yeah, let me get it.
That's cool, that's got an internal thread on it.
Yeah, but I think this is a really old one.
Yeah.
Because it's not like your conventional industrialized thread, and also there's also kind of pull marks on the glass on the
Alright.
outside. So we are taking this.
Cool, very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, third time lucky.
Back
Shall
to
we
the
get
car.
back to the car?
Go on then.
So the last time we came along to the series burn, we decided to do a little bit of a roundup, and we thought that it was a good idea to maybe keep that in continuity. So we'll come back to series burn this week, and we're going to do another roundup.
This one's really nice and smooth, and as you can see, it's hand painted. It might have been a part of spongeware, it's hard to say, but it's a really lovely shade of green. This is a lovely piece of transferware, and it's got a really nice floral pattern on it. It's a little bit sharp, so I'm kind of tempted to try and smooth it down and see if we can make something out of it. Another piece of lovely blue and white transferware. Again, a little bit too sharp, but let's see what we can make with it. Now this looks a little bit like somebody's emptied out their kitchen cupboard, because we have a full range of condiments here. This piece looks like it might have contained brown sauce at one point. Brown sauce is a type of steak sauce. You might know it as A1 or HP sauce.
So we've turned the lights off on this one so that you can see the word relish. Relish was most likely a tomato-based sauce like a ketchup, or what I used to call red sauce when I was a wee boy. This is the bottom of a Bovril jar, and it looks a little bit newer than the one that we found at Envy Beach a few months ago. Now Bovril jars are relatively easy to spot because they have these flat sides.
So you can see that this piece of glass is clearly marked as coffee. It might not have been coffee beans or even instant coffee as we know it nowadays. In fact, it was most likely a coffee substitute called chicory. You can still buy that today. You can quite clearly see the word syrup on this piece. Most likely syrup of figs. So if you'd overindulged, this would be a handy thing to have in your pantry as well. The last time we came along to Ceresburn, we found a lot of stoppers for bottles. This time, just a wee bit along the banks, we found all these bottlenecks. You can see that this one's quite old. I'm not sure if you can see through it here, but there's threads in there, and that means that a vulcanite stopper would have been turned into this bottleneck. You can perhaps see those threads a little more clearly if I turn the bottle into the light. This cross section of a bottleneck makes it even clearer. You can really see those threads here. Some of the markings on the outside of this bottle are really nice, and that suggests to us that this is quite an old bottle. This is a different kind of bottleneck altogether. As you can see, there are no threads inside this bottleneck, so it definitely didn't take a vulcanite stopper. We thought perhaps it took a cork or a different kind of rubberized stopper. What we do know is it's unlikely that it took a swing top stopper, because swing top stopper bottles would have an indentation here where the little metal frame holds the stopper onto the neck of the bottle. This bottleneck shows a much more recent technology, and that is the kind of cap that screws over the top. We can tell that because of the threads here. So this would have had a bottle cap on it that we'd all recognise from modern bottles today, although we think that this perhaps came from around the 1930s. We're not entirely sure what this metallic piece is. There's a little bit of a debate between us at the moment. I personally happen to think that it's the surround from a door handle. So if you look at an old door and you look at the handle there, there's usually a metal plate just underneath where the handle goes. It's very thin and it has some serrated markings around the edge here. Continuing the theme with door handles then, we have this piece. Again, there is a little debate between the two of us about what this might be, and I think both hold merit, although the more that I think about what Nicole reckons this is, the more I think she might be right. I think that this is part of a door handle, an internal door, not a door that locked. I think that this screwed into a base plate that was inside the door, and that the threads here show where perhaps a glass handle was screwed into this point. So what we have to imagine as a door handle is this having the handle part there that you would grab. The alternative interpretation that Nicole suggested for this is that it's a curtain rail finial. That this part would have screwed into the curtain rail and some decorative, perhaps glass piece, would have screwed into this part here. I think the more I think of this sitting on the end of a curtain rail, the more I'm convinced it's not a door handle. So the last thing I want to show you is this beautiful piece of thick glass. I hope you can see the light glancing off the iridescence there. If you want to know a little bit more about thick glass, check out our field larking videos. We talk about it there. We've done a few projects now using shadow frames, so we decided, why don't we make a clock? So we thought we'd make a steampunk clock. And the first thing that we have to do then is to fit the clock mechanism onto the MDF backing from the shadow frame.
So we've chosen a couple of pieces from our collection then, and we're going to begin to put this clock together.
Thanks so much for watching, liking and subscribing. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. There's a little icon on the bottom of the screen that you can just tick and you're subscribed. Thanks so much to everybody who supported our channel through Etsy, Ko-fi or Amazon.